The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Some Pharisees approached Jesus and tested him, saying, "Is it lawful for a man to divorce his wife for any cause whatever?" Jesus said in reply, "Have you not read that from the beginning the Creator made them male and female and said, 'For this reason a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh?' So they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, man must not separate." They said to him, "Then why did Moses command that the man give the woman a bill of divorce and dismiss her?" Jesus said to them, "Because of the hardness of your hearts, Moses allowed you to divorce your wives, but from the beginning it was not so. I say to you, whoever divorces his wife, unless the marriage is unlawful, and marries another, commits adultery." His disciples said to him, "If that is the case of a man with his wife, it is better not to marry." He answered, "Not all can accept this word, but only those to whom that is granted. Some are incapable of marriage because they were born so, some because they were made so by others, and some because they have renounced marriage for the sake of the kingdom of heaven. Whoever can accept this ought to accept it." The Gospel of the Lord. After I was ordained a deacon, and before I was ordained to be a priest, I took some classes about the sacrament of matrimony to learn how to celebrate weddings and to learn about the different things that might come up in the process. And one of the issues being raised was about the formula of the exchange of vows at weddings. Whether we should have the couple learn the vows by heart, or whether they should just repeat the formula after the priest. The reason for this was that the couple would be very busy preparing for their wedding, to the point that they wouldn't have time and energy to memorize the vows word by word, the vows that they would live for their whole life. And my response to this issue was this: the couple must learn by heart the vows, because if they didn't remember the vows, how could they live and honor the vows? I wonder if any of you still remember the vows you took at your marriage. I take you to be my husband or wife. I promise to be true to you in good times and in bad, in sickness and in health. I will love you and honor you all the days of my life. Now, for many couples today, these wedding vows are taken for granted, and they say it now for the cameras and something for others to hear, and not for themselves to live out. They say it without understanding the responsibilities attached to it. And Jesus reminds us today in the Gospel that what God has joined together, man must not separate. Once a couple freely and willingly exchange their wedding vows, then their bond of marriage is set forever and ever and can no longer be broken. But Jesus also said that because of our hardness of heart, because of many of us have taken lightly the value of marriage and of our vows, and we don't understand and honor the responsibilities we have for each other, that is when marriage is in trouble. And the church has to investigate and to see if the marriage is still valid or not, based on the practice of our vows. Now, if a couple thinks that they are too busy preparing for what they will wear, for who they will invite, what kind of restaurant they will reserve, or how many parties they will have, if they are too busy for those things, rather than spending some time learning the 3 sentences of their vows, the vows that they will live out for their life, then maybe the marriage is in danger right from the beginning, where it is about to begin. So in order to have a long and lasting marriage, a marriage that is blessed by God to be forever joined together in love, you are invited to make time and to take effort to learn about it and to commit yourselves to practice it, so that your vows and promises be sincere and not just taken for granted. Living out the vows is not easy. That is why it's called marriage. If it is easy, it is called a fairy tale. May God, who has begun a good work in us, also bring it to fruitful completion. Amen.